Well, Coach, congratulations on a great win Friday night. With 4 games left in the regular season, you've already clinched a postseason berth.
Yeah, well, we're happy about that, to be in the playoffs again this year, but that's not our goal. We still have a couple more games to win to meet our ultimate goal.
Coach, your string of 17 consecutive quarters without giving up a point came to an end against the Cardinals when they scored in the second quarter Friday night. Then your team came out, and I don't think you gave up a first down the rest of the night. How's that affected the team?
They were disappointed that they gave it up. It was one of those plays where, we didn't have bad coverage. We didn't play it well. The kid made a great catch, and, it happens. I didn't expect to go the rest of the season without giving up a point anyways, so it actually kind of is a relief. It's one of those things where, now the kids aren't focused on it anymore. We don't have to worry about it, and, I think in the second half, they only ran 12 plays total, so I think our defense was still pretty well focused afterwards.
I thought it was kind of fun to hear their reaction in the stands like they had won the game on the other side of the field, and then that kind of fired our fans up and got them back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they were excited, and you understand that, you have that. The other teams are going to have those goals to score against us too when you see a string like we had. But, I think we reacted pretty well, going 60 yards in the next play for a touchdown. So I think our kids are all right. They're going to survive. And as far as they're concerned, yeah, we gave up one touchdown, but now we've gone 2 quarters without a score.
What are your reflections on the game from Friday night?
I thought it was a good game. It was a good effort. It was a different game for us. We've gone out in such a big way in so many games where we've been out in the huge leads in the first half. It was, for us to go in only up 20-7 was a different circumstance for the kids. We struggled in the first half. I think we had 7 penalties, which hurt us on drives. It hurt us against them. One of those, a penalty actually kept their drive alive on 4th down that they ended up scoring on. So, it was mental mistakes that we made in the first half, and a closer game. You could see the stress and the tension on the kids' faces, and even the coaches as well. It was the same thing. It was good for us, though, because we're not going to win every game by, 50 points in the first half. So it was good that we had a close one, and they challenged us. But I thought our reaction in the second half was great. We came out, took this second half kickoff, and took 6 or 7 minutes off the clock and scored a touchdown. And then, like I said, I think they only had 12 plays total if you include their 3 punts in the second half. So we kind of came out and had our way with them and took over the game when it mattered the most.
Zach Stafford had 231 yards Friday night, and that moved him into second place for career yards rushing. And now he's only 242 yards behind Josh Hobson to become the all-time leading rusher in school history. He's also moving up in a number of other categories on both sides of the ball. I know everyone's excited to see Zach and several other players moving up on these individual goals, yet that doesn't seem to be the focus either for Zach or the team.
No, it's really not. We've mentioned it before. All the kids have their own records or their own stats in the back of their mind, and we joke about them every now and then. They want to accomplish their goals as well, but the goal is wins as a team, and as long as we're winning as a team, those goals for the other players will eventually come, and when they hit them, we'll celebrate them, without a doubt. Just like we celebrated when Chris broke his receiving mark, we'll celebrate when Zach breaks the rushing record and everything else. But at this point in time, it's all about whether or not we're winning games and we're moving closer to our goal of another region championship.
Coach, we have been careful on social media sites to celebrate the accomplishments of the players and the team, while being very careful not to promote what's next to keep the focus on winning the game. Do you believe that's good for the players and the team?
Yeah, we don't want to focus too much ahead of where we are. We got big games the next few weeks. This week's going to be a great challenge against Girard, and like I said, we don't want to focus on the individual records, the individual things. We want to focus on winning game to game and making sure that by week 9 we're ready to go for that region title against Iroquois.
Friday night, you take on the Girard Yellowjackets, a double-A school with about 100 more young men to select from for their team. Your non-region games are all tough ones this year. Do you think that helps the team get even better?
Absolutely. Coach Rauscher was here. He set it up that way. We kind of look at, the South as being, a stepping stone for us, and we want to be able to compete with the Southern teams, and their region down there is good week in, week out. They're playing a tough game, and no matter what happens, there's going to be a game, a tough game for them. And our region isn't always strong from top to bottom like the South is. So Coach Rauscher went out and got, over the past few years, you look at Girard and Northwestern the past 2 years, scheduling West Middlesex from the South the past 2 years. And years before that, we were playing like Fort LaBeouf and some other tough teams. So he schedules the bigger schools, he schedules the tougher games to try to make us a better team.
What should we expect to see Friday against the Yellowjackets?
A completely different game, I would say, at least in terms of our opponent. Since West Middlesex, we've everybody and most of the teams in this region are pretty much ground and pound, and you chuck the ball a few times. I think Girard's quarterback already has 1,500 yards passing this year. They throw the ball 35 or 40 times a game. So it's going to be a different type of game than what we've seen since the West Middlesex game. So it'll be a challenge for us to see how our pass coverage has improved over the year, see how our pass rush has improved over the year, and they're a high-powered offense. They score a lot of points, and so we're going to have to be able to match them.
Coach, the excitement around this team is building. Great crowd at Cockerton on Friday night, and I keep seeing more and more blue around town. And as I walked down the hall to come see you this morning, I noticed all the doors, the lockers, the school is decorated up, and everything's turning blue. How do you think that impacts the players and the team?
I think they enjoy it. It's nice to have the support. The kids like to have the crowds at all the games. When you travel to away games and you feel like your fans outnumber their fans, it's always a good feeling. So it's great to have that support. It's great to see the support, not just from the school, but from the community as a whole. Everybody kind of surrounding this team with their support, and it's a great feeling.
Coach, the junior high team, wins have come tough for them this year, but they do look like they're improving. Just thought maybe you'd like to say a few words about that junior high team.
I think the coaches and the kids are doing a great job. You look at the makeup of their team. There's not a lot of kids from the 8th grade class. They've had some tough injuries this year, so they got a lot of 7th graders playing in spots that usually would be an 8th grade position, and so when they're meeting up against bigger kids on the field, a lot of these schools keep a few 9th graders down. We don't do that. So it's been a tough season for them, but they're improving week to week. I think last week's score especially, you look at it, they moved the ball pretty well. They couldn't punch it in the end zone, but they're improving. They're playing hard, and most of all, they're having a good time. And that's what we want. We want them to have fun, and we want to see them when they're in 9th and 10th grade.
Coach, I think we're all looking forward to Friday night's game. Any last words for our Blue Devil fans?
No, I just, come on out. It's like I said, it's going to be a different type of game. You're going to see the ball thrown quite a bit from Girard, and you're going to see how we can stand up to that challenge, because that's the type of teams we're going to see in the future. So hopefully we can stand up, step up, and do a good job against them.
And this year we get the opportunity to play them here at Baird Field on our home ground. It should be a battle.
Absolutely. It's nice to have the home game.